Good morning, Penny Stewart from the Gananoque Horticultural Society, here to talk a little bit about seed saving. It's the time of year when, if we go out to our gardens, we can find seeds and save them for next year and save ourselves the cost of buying new seeds, plus getting the ones and the colors that we know really do well in our garden. I've already gone out and harvested a number of my hollyhocks. And I guess the first thing about seed saving is try and be organized. I use just lunch store paper bags, magic marker, put the name on them, put the date. I have been known to lose seeds for a couple of years. This is Thai basil. I'm going to harvest from that planter. This is Monarda. It's dry now. It's been a few weeks. So I already had a bag set up thinking I was going to do this earlier. I, for one, just saved the whole seed head. Come the dead of winter, we can take them apart and put them into individual envelopes and dish them out for people. This time of year, you'll just want to make sure you're getting them into paper bags. Rattlesnake beans, an old heritage bean, which I'm growing on a pole over there. I just pulled a bunch more off yesterday. They're still green. So those are going to have to lie in the sun until they dry out and look like this. Once they look like this, I'm going to toss them in a paper bag, and then come January, February, I can sit quietly, have a cup of tea, open up all these little seed pods, and put a dozen little tiny seeds into envelopes for our seed exchange, which we do in February and March. So the idea is get the stuff into brown paper bags so it can dry. If things are obviously green, either lie them in the sun or leave them on the plant and then just keep monitoring. This is white hollyhock. I've harvested a bit of it. It still has a fair number of pods. Some of the pods are actually still green, so we're not going to get seeds out of those. These, I pull the whole pods off because they're quite dry. And inside are all the individual little hollyhock seeds. The white ones are quite popular because you don't see them too often, so they will be saved up. Okay, put the Monarda where the Monarda belongs. Cosmos Bright Lights is over in the garden there. We can go and take a look at it. It has a different seed type, but again, the same idea is get it while they're dry. Don't pick them green, otherwise they won't work. The Thai basil is right here. Hello, Belle. You gonna help? This is the Thai basil. These are the seed heads, and if you leave them till they're too dry, they do go to seed on you. So what I do is I will take them off when they're just capable of kind of pulling. I put them in the bag. I'm going to let that dry really good. This is a variety of basil that has a little different, it's almost a licorice. Hint of licorice to it. So it's just a little different than the broadleaf basil that we're more familiar with. Nasturtiums, I'm waiting. I'm not seeing any seed pods. Sometimes you do get seed pods on nasturtiums. And again, you can save those. And we will, and if not, there's the odd thing you do have to buy new seeds for each year. So I have my Rudbeckia triloba, which is the tiny little multi-flowered Rudbeckia. It's not dry yet either, so that one's going to have to wait as well. You can cut them, bring them inside, and just let the whole bouquet dry, and then you will get the individual little seed heads. All of the Rudbeckias end up like this. That is your little seed head. This is a regular Rudbeckia. It's almost dry, but not quite. So I'm going to hold on to those as well. So the key is walk around your garden, take an inventory of what you have, fill out the names on your paper bags, collect them up, fill them up, and then store them. So I fold down my paper bags. You can staple them if you want. I store mine in the basement. I use coat hangers and clothespins. And this allows me to hang a series. I have like a bar, and then I can just hang a series of these with about 6 or 8 on them. So that's an easy way, and that way they are up kind of in the rafters in the basement where it's fairly cool and dry, and they do well. The other way is to store them this way in baskets. That also works. I just run out of spaces to put baskets, so I find the hanging works. When you're out in your garden gathering stuff, that's just a lid off of a pail. That works. Or even better, I tend to go out with this, and then I can put my seed heads directly into a pan, come back to my table, do up all my red Monarda that I want to do up, shake it out, go back out and collect the next set of seed heads, and that way they're contained as opposed to trying to cart them around. So those are just a few ideas about how to save seeds. It is worthwhile. It is a lot of fun to share come February and March when we share these. When we put them into envelopes, we can add additional information like sun, shade, how tall they get, the color, obviously, and that will give people an idea of where to put them in their garden. So, happy seed saving. Go on out, see what you got, and let's have some fun saving seeds.